Ghana for for any obi biara aha Ghanatube so modofo snowy any abusian for matana say maji akonye die no ehu say an ensem no edos ye pa eno ena mede airboy say wonsom no eno eni nipa abusian for entempa no di mechie na ensem bia ewo ho ana say bia ekoso ewo manga nim no say memfa ensom di mechi.
President John Mahama's Bole constituency has become a hotspot for illegal mining activities, with the Black Volta River bearing the brunt of the destruction. Now, the once clean water and is now discolored, posing a significant threat to farmers and thousands of residents who rely on the river for drinking water and daily survival. Heavy equipment, champagnes and pumping machines used by illegal miners have damaged arable lands as well. Now, fisher folks who depended on the lake for their livelihoods have been chased out, leaving them without a source of income. Now, the pollution of the Black Volta River poses serious health risk to local communities, including, of course, the potential for chronic diseases like kidney failure, birth defect, and cancer. Now, in response to the crisis, the district chief executive for Bole has taken a decisive action, storming the illegal mining areas and destroying some of the equipment used by the illegal miners. Rebecca Nantoma was with the task force and joins me with more details on this particular one. Rebecca, thank you for joining us here. Now, paint a picture of how the Black Volta was looking like when you arrived at the scene.
Okay, when we arrived at the scene at Babato, near Bamboy, we realized that the water was very muddy. And it's so sad seeing the water that was mainly clear. You can even fetch it and drink, wash your white clothing. But when we arrived at the scene, the Black Volta at Babato has turned very muddy. You can't even see anything on it, maybe being fishing and other aquatic things in the water. It's very muddy. And when you touch it on your palm, excuse me to say, somebody may say it's a makeup, because how it has turned into muddy, when you use it, you can even paint your walls or your building. And that is why the DC have taken it into his hand that any machine the tax force is, they have to destroy it. And most especially after the time we got to the scene, we realized some people were still in the middle of the water. The machines were working, and the moment they heard the convoy, the sound of the vehicles, they started fleeing into the bushes. So as we speak, the water is very bad. You can't even fetch it to do anything. We're just hoping that in the coming days, the water is going to be clean. That is when the illegal miners have vacated the area. Nothing can be done about that particular water, because fishermen along that area have also vacated, because the fishes around that area cannot even have their own safety. So the fishermen have taken into their own hands that if that is the case, they can't fight the illegal miners unless government and the Bole district assemble. That is why they have vacated the place, because they don't have any other option than to relocate, leaving the illegal miners to use their machines on the water.
Now, Rebecca, you say that when you got there were some illegal miners, and when they heard the sounds of the cars, they started fleeing. Were there any arrests?
There is no arrest as we speak. Nobody have been arrested. But according to the DC, Abdullah Muhammad, he's saying that very soon they are going for another operation. And this time round, no matter whom you are, and you can't even hide on trees, they will make sure they get you, because he believed that those who flew from the machines that were still operating may just be on nearby areas. But because the task force doesn't know the bushes, that is why they couldn't trace these people to get them arrested. So nobody have been arrested. The machines have been destroyed, and other equipment have also been destroyed.
Okay, Rebecca, I'm grateful to you. Rebecca Nantoma there is our lady on the ground there. Let me bring in now the District Chief Executive for Bole, Abdullahi Mahmood, who is joining us on the phone lines now with more details. Abdullahi, I'm grateful to you, sir, for joining here. Now, this apparently isn't new, but appears to have gotten worse. Rebecca is explaining the reason why there were no arrests. What's the strategy then to try and rid this river of illegal miners and possibly arrest some people?
Yeah, it's a process that we intend to sustain for a very long time till we see that the water bodies are cleared. The government some weeks ago deployed some water guards who are dotted around the river banks. So we are just taking these steps, ward them off, and in order to sustain them or put them to duty, and they will be the watchdogs over the area.
So your water guards have not started work yet?
Yeah, because of their commissioning. But this, I went with them, and they were very instrumental in getting us the locations of these machines to destroy.
What's the assurance that tomorrow we will not wake up and see the miners on the river again?
As I said, it's a process. We will continue to sustain it as at when it is necessary, and we see them that they are coming back. We will continue to fight it. So the water bodies, we are resolved. We are going to clear it off illegalities.
So were men placed there? Are men there as we speak?
As I said, I just went there with the dissect to raid them off, and the dissect is in Bole, and from here to the place is about 72 miles, which obviously we cannot position them there 24 hours. So we will continue to monitor as and when we hear that they are in the water bodies, we'll go after them.
Why was this operation not undertaken by NIMOS? Because we were told that was to regulate how these or coordinate how these efforts against illegal mining are undertaken.
That I can't speak to that. I'm in charge of the dissect which are available for me to use.
Okay, all right. We'll see, and we will be keeping an eye on how this particular one goes. So thank you for joining us here. That's Abdullahi Mahmoud. He's a DC for Bole there. But in the Ashanti region, desperate rescue efforts are still underway to reach illegal miners buried under a collapsed pit, with 9 already recovered and 5 of whom are lifeless as of the time we were coming into the studio, and 4 fighting for survival. My colleague Nana Jima joins us on the phone with more. Nana, do we really know what happened?
So the information available to us is that these people had gone into an abandoned pit. This is a pit that was abandoned by one small-scale miner years ago, and that is where the community have often gone there to for their gold hunt. So these young men were among people who had gone to the area to pick some gold, and unfortunately, this pit caved in. And a day after the rescue mission started, and this morning, the RECSEC, led by the Ghana Police Service in Yinahini, were able to retrieve 9 of these people. Out of the 9, 5 were pronounced dead, and their bodies have been deposited at the morgue. Now, 4 of them are still battling for their lives. As before coming on air, the rescue mission is still on, and the police service and others are trying to retrieve some people they believe are still buried within this caved pit.
Now, so do we know whether they've retrieved more bodies or more individuals from the collapsed pit?
Before we came on air, they hadn't been successful in retrieving more bodies, but rescue mission is still on. It's unclear when they will abandon this rescue effort, but they are still on the ground trying their best to be able to pick more bodies if there are people in there. But it's suspected, but according to some people who were within the area as at the time of the collapse, they claim that there were some more people trapped in there. So rescue efforts are still ongoing. Before coming on air, we're yet to get any community member reporting of a missing relative or so. So, but still, the police service and other rescue team members are still on the ground trying to dig further to find if there are still people buried in there.
Where is this again?
So we are talking about Kototie, which is within the which is here within the Ashanti region.
And we know that 5 of the bodies retrieved are lifeless. Have they been has a doctor really pronounced them dead?
Exactly. They were retrieved by the Ghana Police Service, taken to the hospital for medical examination to be conducted, and they were deposited at the morgue. So medical professionals have declared them dead.
5 of them. Interesting. Grateful to you, Nanaya Jima, there with latest on what's happening in the Ashanti region, where we understand a pit has collapsed, trapping some illegal miners. As of the time we're coming on air, 9 had been retrieved. 5 of them, as you heard there, confirmed dead.
Yo for yako aba ute insem no ese wo de anase anya wo de day ene wadwin tre fa wadwin tre no ewu kimi wo comment section no na menje bre enkinkan emo fefefe aha Ghanatube so ebusianfo sisiade my crowd.